Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I am Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now we're covering ATP Shanghai, the Masters, second day of the second round. So get in the comments, let me see what you guys are playing for tonight, tomorrow, the morning, whatever it is for you. And keep your eyes peeled for my pinned comment if you like to see what I'm playing as well, and follow along. If you do like the breakdowns of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way, as well as getting my picks as soon as I upload. You can subscribe for that. That's the fastest way to do so. Appreciate those that's helping me get to 600. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close. And if you are feeling generous, there's a link in the pinned comment for donations. And there's also a link to my free Discord as well. We talk tennis 24/7. We have discussions about the matches. If you'd like to get involved, I'd love to have you. It'd be great. With that being said, what we looking like for today? So we had 2 tickets, right? We took Camille Machac and Luciano Darteri for a set. And I told you, these boys were going to be able to do something for us. They both got us a set and won in straights. So if you ended up going to my Discord, you would have actually ended up playing the money line for Machac and for Darteri. Sorry. So big ups to you guys that caught it in the Discord. But what else did we take? We also had Dalibor Surfchina to get a set, and there was no match against Medvedev. He was not going for it. The slower courts, which we'll get into, played a big factor into a lot of the outcomes I think that we've been seeing this week. So with that being said, let's get into Shanghai. First match is going to be David Goffin going against Gabriel Diallo. Let me start that over again. First match is going to be David Goffin going against Gabriel Diallo. And this is going to be their, second head-to-head. They played in Melbourne in the qualies for the Australian Open last year. Goffin won in 3 sets. Goffin has seemingly popped into some good form. We do know that he played pretty well in Shanghai last year, right? He just got through Ben Shelton so convincingly. I couldn't even believe how well he played against Ben Shelton. I was like, this is the David Goffin that Tiafoe was warning us about. But we got him, and he's here. So going against a Diallo, who is a bit more ready since he's not coming off injury. So that is that, right? Like, Ben didn't seem fully ready to come back. And that's totally fine. We'll most likely get him in the next one, but we'll catch him. We'll catch him in the next round of the next thing that he plays in. We won't take him in the first round again. Going back to this match, though, Diallo did just get through Bonzi in straights, but what's more impressive, going through Ben, the Ben that Diallo got through, or the one that Goffin got through? Which Ben is more impressive? Shelton off of injury, or Bonzi, who's just in the middle? So, because they went to a 3-setter last time they played, which was fairly recently, I kind of want to think that they will do that again. If you don't want to take that plus money smoke, you could go for the over games here. You know me, I don't like the number 22.5, but I do think it is a valid place to go. Maybe for me personally, I would go to 20.5. I'd play it at 20.5 because I actually do want to really watch this match, and I'm probably not going to be able to because I'm going to be either recovering from the morning of. Oh, this is happening tonight, so yeah, I'll be drinking. It'll be my birthday at that point, so or socializing, I should say. I don't know if I'll be drinking per se, but I'll definitely be in the mix like Twix, like ooh. Anyway, I like the 20.5. Don't gotta go on this too deeply. We talk about these guys' records every video, but it wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't do it. So David Goffin is 10-14 on the hard courts this season, going 14-21. Then we have Diallo, who's 16-14, going 35-25 this season. Diallo has a 63% win rate on the hard court. Goffin has a 61, so about 2%, and that's all we need sometimes, right? That's all we need. So I would lean a little bit on. Actually, if you don't want to take that, I would take Diallo over 13.5 games, but I would also take, if you're feeling even crazier, I would take Goffin over 11.5 games. I just don't. Take games here. It's going to be a lot. If you think someone's going to win, take their plus spread. That's the advice I'd give you. If you think Goffin's going to win, take plus 4.5 for Goffin. That's minus 290. It's a great parlay piece. Anyway, we'll move on. And our next match is going to be Humbert going against Holger Rune. Got Heartthrob Holger going against Heartthrob Humbert. No, nothing. But the head-to-head history between these two jokers are ridiculous. All have been on the hard courts, and Ugo has only been able to acquire but just one set out of 10. Damn. Starting back in 2022 in Indian Wells, and it ended in Indian Wells. But it started there, 6-3, 6-2. Then 2022 in Basel, an indoor hard court, 6-4, 6-2. And then in the Australian Open 2 years ago, straight sets with a tiebreak at the end, third set. And then Ugo won the first set in their most recent match in Indian Wells this year, but he lost the last two. Being as though the courts in Shanghai have been complained about at this point by some of the top players, top seeds in the tournament. If you don't know, the courts are slower than like what people were used to in previous years. Literally, when I was covering it last year, the courts were like a good 12 to 18% miles per hour faster. So there's definitely a huge dip in the ability to maintain your effective play style on a fast court if this is switching, right? So people like Taylor Fritz, Zverev, they've complained about it. I only bring that up because the court is slow and it's a hard court, but we've been seeing people that play on the clay excel here, right? So it's not clay, but the conditions on this hard court make it so that being a clay player gives you, I guess, more of an advantage than playing as a person that is used to playing on a fast hard court. So Ugo is not a clay player. He's a hard court player. Holger, he's a kind of hard court player, but he definitely is a clay boy. And the way he got through Sebastian Baez, who is a clay player, Baez was only playing that well because of the conditions. But Rune still outplayed him. So I do like the odds for him. I don't think Jordan Thompson was giving up as much of a fight as Baez was. So, and then you look at Holger's history against lefties, right? It's pretty decent. If I can go back enough. Let's check it out real quick. He's 4-3 so far this season. He's 33-18. Career-wise, he's 19-11 on the hard courts against lefties. Now, this is a top 20 lefty, so let's see how he does in Masters. He's 4-3 in the Masters against lefties. 3-2 against. So specifically, like down to it, like in Masters for Holger Rune against lefties and the top 50 on hard courts, he is 3-2. Okay, he has beaten Ugo before, back in March, as we spoke about right before this, back in Indian Wells in that 3-setter. So he also was able to beat Jack Draper in Cincinnati. And back then, Jack Draper was a different beast. He was healthier. And anyway, I think Holger Rune wins this match. I would take a look at the price real quick for you guys and see who's the favorite here. Yeah, Holger. Minus 186. I'm not mad at that price. I think it's a good price for him. I probably won't be touching that match, even though I can definitely assure you that Holger Rune should be the one that wins that match. Like, going 8-8 for Humbert and 18-9. Money's on Rune. So, next match that we have is going to be Taylor Fritz going against Giovanni and Mpetshi Perricard. Another head-to-head for these guys. And going back to the slow courts in Shanghai, Taylor Fritz is not happy about them. But I do think that he should be able to get through Gio in straight sets. I do. Their head-to-head history is just 1-0 with their one head-to-head back in Wimbledon this year. It went to 3 tie breaks out of 5 sets. So I think that one had like over 80 aces or almost 70 aces in that match. Ridiculous between the two of them, 29 and 37. So something that you can definitely look at is the aces that they're going to be having in this one. Or breaks of serve even are probably quite low. I'm sure in DraftKings, if they have anything for breaks of serve, let's see. Nah, they don't be having that shit. It's minus 350 for a tie break, so you know to stay the fuck away from that. You already know it's going to happen, so you might as well just bet on it. Go to 2 tie breaks for all that. Like, I don't know. I think Taylor Fritz wins in straights. That's my synopsis. Gio has been playing decently well. He did beat Luca Nardi in somewhat of a convincing fashion, but the first set, Nardi lost to himself. He double faulted for a break point, so he didn't even really have to win a full match. He really just had to hold for a set, and the rest of it just kind of fell into his hands. So he's not going to get those chances against Taylor Fritz. I hope you all understand this. Yeah, 31-11 for Fritz, 50-18 this season, 11-12 for Gio. He has more losses than Taylor Fritz, and Taylor Fritz has 20 more wins than him. What else do you want me to say? We can move on. Our next match is going to be Francisco Cerundolo going against Zizou Bergs. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. I was just watching their highlights, and I think this one's going to be a close one, too. But I do think Zizou might have the edge here. I do. And he is the underdog, bro. I think Zizou might be the guy to... Is it too soon to trust Zizou again? He's gone through Sebastian Korda and Casper Ruud. Surely it does not end with Francisco Cerundolo. Surely, bro. Y'all gotta hear me on this. We've seen what Zizou does. He gets to places. He gets a little bit of a This is kind of what happened in the U.S. Open, right? He won his first round, straight set, bang. Had a walkover. Jack Draper said, I'm done playing. I can't even play. And then went against Munar, got clapped. Straight sets. Third round. Guess where we are in this tournament? Third round. Same situation. Sebastian Corda beats him in straights. Casarud plays him a bit, but eventually gets a retirement. So, defaulted to win the match. Now he's going against Cerundolo. Someone you expect him to beat. Or like Munar, someone you expected him to beat. Loses in straights. Do we get the same thing again? Or do we get Den Bosch? Are we getting Den Bosch back? Den Bosch Bergs? It's hopeful. You got to go for the set at the very least. You can't take the money line. Play him on DraftKings. If I'm feeling gutsy enough, I honestly, just from what I saw from Cerundolo going against Manarino, it was just too close. It was just too close. Like, they broke each other a fair amount of time. I think it was like 3 or 4 breaks. Yeah, they both broke each other twice, but it ended up in 2 tie breaks. Right? So, broke and got broke back in each set. I think with the increase of pace and also yeah, this is an iffy one. Cerundolo is someone that is, like I said, we're talking about these courts as well today. The court is slow, and it's favoring clay players. Cerundolo is a clay player. He's got a damn near 70% win rate. He's 21-11 on clay this year. Not that matters. He's 12-7 on hard courts as well. That's better than Zizou. Zizou's 19-15 with a 60% win rate. Cerundolo has a 52% win rate, but his clay is at 70%, and I kind of want to like average that out, like 130 is that 120 divided by, it's like 60% win rate on these certain courts that we have here. But same with Zizou, it's about a 60% win rate. So maybe go for someone to get a set, or go over total games, or covering a spread for Zizou might be a move too. That might be where you can kind of get a good bang for your buck. Maybe plus 4.5 on the game spread for Zizou. I don't know. Maybe I'm believing what I'm seeing too quickly. I'm going to stay away from that match. It's taking me so long to think about it. The next match we have is going to be Yoshihito Nishioka going against Jaume Munar. And this one's going to be funny, man. They have a head-to-head history of 1-1. First time was going to be on the hard court this year, though. Okay? So, last time they played was in Barcelona on the clay. It went 6-3, 6-1. Munar. Last time before that was in 2022. Don't really matter. In Antwerp. Straight set win. Now we know way back then Munar was definitely not no hardcourt player, so that was just a punching bag at that point in time. Now, and with the conditions, I think Munar might be in a good space to take this dub. He plays well against lefties. If you didn't know. So Nishioka is 10-13 this season. Munar is 14-10, so almost like reverse. Yoshihito has a 60% win rate. Munar is climbing his up to a 51%. That shit was low, boy, going into this season. I think it was at like a 46% or maybe a 47%. He's built it up by a good 4% So he's playing well on hard courts. Like, for sure. Yoshihito has only dropped a set since being in Shanghai. He has not been playing the best leading up to this, but he has been seemingly, he turned it on here. He got rid of Rublev in 3 sets. Shevchenko, Vukic, and Noguchi. I like the idea of Munar winning this match. Truly. Yoshihito does have the hard court experience, but with the conditions right now, I think Munar's a bit too scrappy on these courts to just like let Nishioka just get this dub here. I do. If you want to take Nishioka for a set, that's what I said last time, and he ended up doing that and then winning the match. So maybe take him for a set today. I could see it going to 3 sets for sure. Like, it's plus 130 if you want to think about that. It doesn't come to my mind immediately, but because I'm a little bit torn between Munar winning and Nishioka to get a set, I'm like, do I play the set betting at 2-1? It's plus 290 for Munar. If you're thinking about that, let me know. I might not play that. I might play it. I can't tell you just yet. Mine's not made up. But we'll move on. And this next match, I'm going to have to relook at the highlights because this guy's still here. Valentin Vacherot going against Thomas Machac. And this Vacherot kid is doing things. 71% win rate on the hard court, going 13-9 this season. 15-5 for Machac. Someone's going to get their 10th loss. Who's it going to be? Machac got through Bellucci in straights. Vacherot got through Bublik in 3. Bossavaretti in 3. Draxel in 3. Jide in straights. I think this guy is, if he's good enough to get a set off Bublik alone, I think he's good enough to get a set off Machac. Machac has a good serve. Machac got movement. Bublik doesn't even have that great of movement. He just has extremely smart positioning. So, I think that if you're able to trump that, then you are definitely eligible of a set, my boy. And Machac has been hot and cold to me this season. He has been trustworthy where you expect him not to be, and untrustworthy when you fully expect him to be trustworthy. So, I would lean more on the person he's going against right now than the person that he is. I do like that, he does have a 15-9 record this season, as I said before. That gives him a 66% win rate on the hard court, but around a 59% on clay. Just a preface. And then he's going 71% for Vacherot on the hard court, 63 on the clay. So, even though he's ranked 110, I think Thomas Machac ranked 120. We've seen crazier things happen. A lot of upsets. I would lean on Valentin to get us a set here, man. I do think it's possible, and I do think it's necessary. Bublik is one beast, but Machac couldn't even beat Bublik. So, I like that set idea, okay? And our next match we're going to be getting into is going to be Yannick Hanfmann going against Novak Djokovic. Do we have to go into this very deeply? Djokovic beat him last year in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3. They're about 5 years apart. Crazy enough, they've only played once before, and it was on the clay. This will be their first hard head-to-head on the hard courts. Hanfmann has gotten through Sonego and Tiafoe so far. Djokovic has gotten through Silic, who almost dropped a set, who he almost dropped a set to. So definitely interesting stuff there. Hanfmann is 12-8 this season. Novak is 18-6. Novak has 33% over Yannick Hanfmann's win rate on the hard courts, 85-52. Don't know what spread you're going to go for here, friends. If you want to just like slam the shit out of Djokovic to win in straights, then do that. I guess it's not even a good parlay piece. It's minus 300. So if you wanted to sweat a little bit for your money, I would just put it at 6-4, 6-4. Or you could take the old games and go under that. If you think it'll be like, if you think it could be like 7-5, 6-4, that's 22 games. So you can run the, never mind. You could run the under 21.5. It's minus 158. I don't think it's going to get pushed that far. Hoffman was able to beat Tiafoe and Sonego. Those are two people that are like, you know, a bit scrabbly right now in their form. So Novak is potentially in the position to win this entire thing. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. But let's carry on with the next match. We know what's going to happen here. And, this is our last match. Last but not least, we have Talon Griekspoor going against Yannick Sinner. Whoa. And this is going to be their 7th head-to-head. Sinner, this is going to be what? He's only dropped 2 sets to him. So, 6 matches. 14 sets. 12-2. Most of them have been on indoor hard courts. But the one time they played on a hard court outdoors, Griekspoor got a set. In Miami last year. He's been playing decently well. He had a pretty weird match against Jenson Brooksby, but I think Brooksby was just gassed out, just too tired. But he's finally cracked his loss streak of what is that? 7 matches of losses. He's back. He's gotten himself a win. It's got to feel good. He's got to run that high though. He's got to keep it going. Can he do it? Sinner got rid of Altmaier pretty convincingly. If you thought that Djokovic winning in straights wasn't worth shit, boy, Sinner is minus 600 to win in straights. Like, why even talk about this? This is like, this blows, bro. Do we think it goes over 19.5 games? I don't think so. But to be safe, I would alt up to 21.5. Because what do we get in their last match? Last match on the indoor hard courts, we actually ended up getting, 24 plus 7. 31 games. In Miami last year. So if you wanted to maybe alt it down to 16.5, no, it's not worth shit. 18.5 is so crazy. It's minus 174 if that goes over. The over hits more times than it doesn't for these two. So, I mean, the last time they played was a Davis Cup match, and that went to 13-8, 21 games. So, if you want to run the under, I think it could be probably as good as that, the 7-6, 6-2. I think that's going to be the closest he'll probably get to getting anywhere close to Yannick or a victory to him. I think that score specifically, 7-6, 6-2, is the best that he could probably do, given right now. So the under 21.5 is the one I would like, but I'm not too great at those. If you guys have plays, please let me know what you guys got going on. Like I said, it is going to be my birthday weekend. My birthday is tomorrow. So this video will be dropping for the plays happening on my birthday, which means that the plays for the 6th may be a bit delayed because I'll be still out of town. So bear with me. Make sure you get yourself acquainted with my free Discord in the swamp. Get some good discussions in. Get some good insight in if I'm not there. There's other people in there that will be able to help you out. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm off for a few days. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to buy me some tennis cards and enjoy that. You guys take care. All right. Peace.